bespoke radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Ah, yes. Fade to Black. How you doing? Yes, we've already crashed the website. Yeah, that's the way it goes. What can we do? I love all of you. All right, everybody, just settle down. This is Fade to Black, bespoke radio for the masses. Today is Monday, August 24th. We are live from the City of Angels Studios right here in downtown, Gates of Hell, burning Burbank, California. COA Vapor, makers of the Fade to Black e-juice. It's called Fader Loops. Everybody is vaping today. Go and get you some. Just go to the banner on the website that has crashed at jimmychurchradio.com. We knew it was going to be a big show tonight. Wow. And, you know, this is the thing. We are cleared on our website. Are you ready? For 100,000 hits. And I guess they all just happened at the same time. So there you go. But there's plenty of ways to listen to the show tonight. You can, if you can hear me now, then there is no issue. If you're on the website trying to get in, maybe you're there, maybe you're not. But that's the way it goes. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Big night tonight. Excited, fired up. Like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States, hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south. This is Fade to Black, and I am your oh-so-humble host, Jimmy Church, for KJCR and the Game Changer Network and KGRA, the planet. I'd like to welcome everybody. Yes, we have a very big show tonight. Tonight, Corey Goode and David Wilcock will be here. It will be a blockbuster night. You have requested it. Fade to Black has the exclusive, and there you go. So we will be bringing the two gentlemen on here very shortly. I would like to remind everybody of a couple of things. Tomorrow night, Travis Walton and Jennifer Stein will be here. Jennifer's the director of the new documentary, Travis, the true story of Travis Walton, and we will have them both here tomorrow night. And then on Wednesday, it's Science Fiction Authors Night. We have Casper Parks and Dave Barra here on Wednesday night. And also, Mike Barra is going to be here too as well to comment on the new 3D images of Mars from India. Extraordinary images and lots of other images that have been published over the last couple of weeks. So we'll be talking about all of that on Wednesday. Of course, Thursday night, open lines all night long, taking your calls. With that, all right, exciting night tonight. I am totally fired up. I have never seen the phone lines here at the studio do what they're doing tonight. For the last half hour, they've been blocked up with with literally hundreds of phone calls coming in. We're not taking any phone calls tonight. So there you go. If you're calling in or if you're telling me that the website is down, you're going to have to go figure it out for yourself. It is a big night tonight. And there you go. There's nothing I can do. The show must go on. I'm sure that Method is working on the website now, and it will be up, square, and done. Okay, it's funny. I make that announcement, and I just watch the phone lines start to clear out. Now they're coming back. Wow. Okay, no phone calls tonight. I'm just telling you now, no phone calls tonight. I'm excited. Tonight with Corey and David, Corey Goode, David Wilcock. Over the last, it's been happening. It's been kind of warming up over the last couple of years, but certainly the last few months, the world of ufology and enlightenment and so forth has been abuzz about Corey Goode, the whistleblower, and his revelations and his presentations with David Wilcock, both over on Gaiam TV and otherwise, and certainly through their websites, Blue AVIANS and David's websites. And a lot of questions out there. So we have been working on this show now for months to line it up and get it ready for you. As we were preparing to get this show ready, the emails started coming in over certainly over the last month, and it got out of control. And so what I just wanted to say to everybody, we read all the emails, we saw all of it, and we were getting more and more anxious to get this show done tonight too on our end, because it was really heating up out there. And so it's kind of twofold, my message here. One, we've been trying to put this together for a while, and two, when the emails were coming in, I was like, man, and now we really, we have to get this done. This show is about our audience, and this is a show that they've wanted. Now, tonight is here. It's Monday. Great. Boom. Done. I had a long couple-hour conversation today with both Corey and David about the excitement of the show and not necessarily what we were going to talk about. What we talked about today was emotions and philosophy and what has been going on out there. And that's what we talked about today. So they are very anxious to come on, lay it out, set records straight, answer questions, and certainly inform us and enlighten us. And that's what we're going to do tonight. Okay? So get ready. It's going to be fun. It's going to be one of those nights. And hopefully one of the... do follow us on Twitter. Listen, all of the new listeners that are listening to the show tonight, a couple of things. One, this is a live radio broadcast. This is a large show. It reaches everywhere. We are syndicated on KGRA. We feed out on multiple streams. It's a very large audience. This is a live radio show. Okay? So just sit back, relax. It's going to be one of those evenings where you're going to want to focus. You want to, get your bathroom break out of the way now. Get your drinks now. Get ready, get comfortable, get your blankie, turn down the lights, and get ready. Okay, that's what this show is. This is not a podcast. This isn't recorded. This is live now. Okay? All right. Number two. You know what? I can't remember my number two. I'll get to my number two. This Saturday, a couple of public service announcements I'm going to get out of the way. This Saturday, I will be hosting Coast to Coast AM. And right here in Los Angeles, I'll be over at the C2C Studios Wednesday night. I don't know. I haven't checked the Coast to Coast website, so I don't know if they've announced my guest. I know who my guests are because I schedule my guest, but I don't know if they've done that yet. So as soon as they announce the guests, it's called courtesy, and then I will announce who my guests are, both of them, this Saturday. But do tune in. It's going to be a lot of fun. And hosting Coast to Coast, just like this show, the atmosphere is the same. I go into Coast to Coast. It's George's studio. It's not my studio. It's George's studio. I get to go in. It's an honor. I go in there and I turn down the lights. It's me alone in the studio. Yeah, they have a staff and all of it, but all of that is outside behind the doors, behind the glass. It's just me in there with the lights off. And that's what we do here. It's what I'm doing right now. It's dark in here. It's just me and you, the audience. Okay? All right. Now, let's get all of that out of the way, because as soon as I'm done yakking, we get to talk to David Wilcock and Corey Goode. It's going to be a great night. Let's get this show cracking. I'm ready. Today, a couple of things really quick. Today, Steve Guttenberg is 57 years old. And I had to announce that because Police Academy, the entire series, meant a lot to me growing up. Happy birthday, Steve Guttenberg. But his best performance to me is a little known movie called Amazon Women on the Moon. And if you've never seen it, check it out. It's a great movie. Steve Guttenberg, happy birthday. Also, Dave Chappelle today is 42. And I had to do that because Dave Chappelle, he's one of those guys that just doesn't care. And I love his humor. Happy birthday, Dave Chappelle. Okay, you can follow us on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Oh, that was my number 2. For all of you new listeners out there, tonight, follow us on Twitter at JChurchRadio. And then you want to hashtag F2B. That's F, the number 2, and B. Hashtag F2B. That is the sandbox. Any comments, anything, you want to come over and hang out with all the other Fadernauts, everybody listening to the show, come over to Twitter, hang out with us. We do 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 tweets a night, and it's fun, it's great, and just come over and hang out with us. And you do that over on Twitter, at JChurchRadio, hashtag F2B. If you have any questions for myself, Mr. Wilcock, Mr. Goode, tonight, hashtag F2BQ. That's Fade to Black Questions, hashtag F2BQ. I have a separate feed that comes into the studio to my left. Keep it uncluttered because I have a very cluttered brain. And there you go. All right, so with that, let's get to our first break. And as soon as I come back, I'll get all the news that you know nothing about out of the way. This is Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network and KGRA, The Planet. Let's blow up some servers tonight, everybody. It's going to be great. Corey Goode, David Wilcock for 2.5 straight hours. And you know what? Maybe we'll go overtime. But we got to let the network know, because I have a feeling tonight's going to be part 1. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Do not touch that mouse. I'll be back right after this short break. Stay with us.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio.
What's up, revolutionaries? It's me, Jimmy Church. Do you have an IRS or state tax issue? Well, I did, and I called national tax experts. My problems were fixed, done, fini, and man, I gotta tell you, it was a relief. National Tax Experts are a recognized tax office that services clients in all 50 states. It doesn't matter where you live. Give them a call. I'm telling you, they take the time to understand each and every client's individual financial status as well as their financial goals. And that's exactly what you need, my brother, when you're taking on the evil 3-letter. So, seriously, give them a call today at 1-877-909-5444. Again, 1-877-909-5444. Or go check out their website, www.nattaxexperts.com. That's NATTAXEXPERTS.com. Tell them Jimmy sent you.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, The Planet.
Hi, this is Chase Kletsky with Fate Magazine Radio, and you're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA digital broadcast station, where the Fadernauts rock.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Just got word in from Method and our servers. Website's back up. Yeah, we crashed it. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They didn't give us a guarantee. That's called a nervous laugh. Tonight we have Corey Goode and David Wilcock with us in about 10 short minutes. Very excited. Tomorrow night, Travis Walton and Jennifer Stein will be here. Jennifer directed the documentary Travis, the true story of Travis Walton. And then Wednesday, Science Fiction Authors Night. Casper Parks and Dave Barra right here, and Mike Barra is going to be doing a drive-by as well, commenting about the new 3D images on Mars. So a great week here on Fade to Black. And, of course, Thursday night is Open Lines. Saturday, I'll be over at Coast to Coast, driving down the street. Gonna go hang out at a real studio. It's pretty nice over there. All right. With that, let's get to this, man. Let's get to it. Let's do this, man. Today, on this day in history, in the year 79 A.D., at noon on this day, Vesuvius erupts, devastating Pompeii, which was never rebuilt, by the way. After it was all said and done, they left it, and it was largely forgotten in the course of history. Crazy. This day, year 79. Fader facts. The venom of the box jellyfish is among the most powerful in the world. It has caused at least 5,567 human deaths since 1954. In 2013, just to put this in perspective for you, 5,567 deaths since 1954. What is that, 60 years? In 2013, there were 1,866 black widow bites reported to the American Association of Poison Control Centers, but only 14 of those resulted in severe symptoms. None resulted in death. The box jellyfish. And that is a fader fact. I hope you're a little smarter tomorrow morning when you go to work. Let's get to all of the news that you know nothing about. After an unprecedented 1,000-point decline, yes, today the Dow closed. It went down 1,000 points today. It closed with a loss of nearly 600 points. The 588-point decline was the worst for the Dow since August 2011. World stocks and oil prices plunged today as well. The global sell-off accelerated on fears about the health of China's huge economy. And tonight, I hope that I have the time with David and Corey to talk about David's predictions on this that have been going on for the last couple of years. And right now, we are knee-deep in it, man. We are knee-deep in it. And that's why that is our lead story tonight. I will do my best to get this in with David tonight. I want his insights. After previous warnings, Russian internet watchdog Roskomnadzor, which is Roskomnadzor, that's how you say it, Roskomnadzor, announced today it will order the blockage of a Wikipedia page on preparing and using a cannabis-containing drug. And guess what that drug is? It's hashish. Yes. now the fears are that Wikipedia is going to be blocked in all of Russia. They issued an official warning to Wikipedia last Friday, asking the Russian branch of the project to delete the page that detailed the procedure for preparing hash, because this substance contains cannabis, which Russian law lists as an illegal drug. Come on. On Monday, today, this morning, Russian news agencies reported that Wikipedia had changed the web address of the article about hash. But apparently, they did not consider this move sufficient grounds for ending the conflict. I'm talking about the Russians. And the Russians did a press release today, and they said, moving the article to a different web address did not limit the user's access to information banned by the court, end quote. It's pot. It's hash. And if somebody wants to find out about how to make hash, which is not difficult, they're going to find out. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I thought it was a new, fresher, leaner, nicer Russia since 1991. This is crazy. It's pot. It's hash. It's like whoever's making these laws, who's ever running these courts over in Russia, you need to picture who is behind that. And I'm sure it's somebody that's not a 30-something, a 40-something, a 50-something. It's some old relic of the old days. These marijuana is bad. Unbelievable. And check this out. John Oliver, he's got that HBO show called Last Week Tonight. Pretty funny show, if you've ever checked it out. His latest episode, he didn't attack, he reported on televangelists who are out there reaping millions of dollars from their faithful followers. And check this out. Because of the show, well, a couple of things have happened. Number one, the IRS conducted a mere three audits of churches in 2013, 2014. And that's according to the GAO, the Government Accountability Office. 3 audits of churches. Does that make sense? 3. Not 3,000. 3. The Trinity Foundation, an organization that probes religious fraud, holds that the wild success of televangelism has in part been fueled by the IRS failing to audit churches, which are exempt from taxes due to the constitutional right to exercise religion freely. We get that. But Trinity Foundation's founder, his name is Ole Anthony, says that since the IRS named Scientology a church several years ago, now anybody can call themselves a church. Naturally, you know what Oliver did? Old John Oliver? He went out and registered his own church with the IRS. I'm not making this up. It's called Our Lady of Perpetual Exemption. Insert joke here. No, he really did it. Warner Brothers is developing a new movie, a drama based on the life of Carl Sagan. Yes, it is in development. No title yet, but it's going to be produced by his widow, Andrew Yan. And there you go. I've got a little more news on this, but it's, I got to verify. I got to vet and verify and check and recheck. But more news on this as it develops. Inventor James M. Robitaille and the Fix the World Council have released an energy generator. Check this. Inspired by Tesla's 1894 electric generator patent number 511916. Yes, modified and modernized. The plans for this quantum electric generator have now been released to the public and made open source. The machine is strong enough to power a household and is the size of a modern gas generator. According to the council, The machine is scaled to produce electrical power in the range of 10 to 15 kilowatts continuously and can be set up to provide either 120 volt or 232 volt single phase outputs. Just go over to our Facebook page. Find us on Facebook, JimmyChurchRadio.com. The article is there. You can click on it, or you can just go over to minds.com, MINDS.com. The massive fire burning in north central Washington is now the largest in state history. Yes, the wildfires have surpassed last year's Carlton Complex blazes. Fire spokesman Rick Isaacson said this morning the fire measured overnight to just over 400 square miles, slightly more than the Carlton fires, which also burned in the same county. Overnight, it grew by another 26 square miles and is largely unchecked. No containment as of yet. It's out of control up in Washington. Everybody up there, be safe. Of the 6 states in the U.S. where researchers are trying to figure out how to integrate unmanned aircraft into civilian airspace, only North Dakota can fly high both day and night. The Federal Aviation Administration approved a plan last week that allows drones to be flown up to 1,200 feet above the entire state and permits flying at night. It's the only state in the country. And I'll leave you with this. You want to get a handgun, some synthetic marijuana, and porn into a prison? What do? Well, you could go to North Dakota, number one. Or 2, you could be 2 guys in Maryland with a drone. That's right. The pair were found this past Saturday on a side road that runs alongside the Western Correctional Institution in Cumberland with a drone in the back seat. This is according to the Maryland Department of Public Safety and Correctional Services. They just announced this. What else was in the back seat? Packets of K2, synthetic marijuana, tobacco, Suboxone, porn DVDs, and a handgun. And that's all the news that you know nothing about. This is Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network and KGRA, The Planet. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Quick short break. When I come back, we'll be joined by David Wilcock and Corey Goode. We have a very fun evening in front of us. Stay there. Get comfortable. I'll be back right after this. Stay with us.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio.
Hello, I'm Katie, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Hi, this is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Today, everybody, the Fadernauts and Planet Earth is vaping, and I'm very proud to announce our very own e-juice. When we were approached by City of Angels Vapor about Fade to Black e-juice, I wanted to make sure that it was the very best and that the flavors were something that I could create myself, and we did just that. Introducing Fade to Black Fader Loops. This will take you right back to Saturday morning cartoons and your favorite bowl of Fruity Loopy cereal. Just click on the banner or go to www.coavapor.com. Enter the promo code Jimmy for the Fader Not Special. That's www.coavapor.com. Go back, Lee Tappy.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA digital broadcast station.
Imagine no longer being tied down to your computer, but having the freedom to take live talk radio with you anywhere you go. TalkStream Live introduces our first ever iPhone application. The talk shows you follow now follow you, and your iPhone is now the fastest and easiest way to stay connected to the best talk radio on the internet. Let TalkStream Live transform the way you listen to radio. Listen to live talk shows 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Mobile Talk Radio from TalkStream Live. Now available in the iTunes App Store.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. Yes. We are of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And I'm Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. And you're listening to Jimmy Church. The Revolution.
Attention, all Fade or Not. Studio Dome has a special deal on their SD1 Bluetooth speaker. Just go to jimmychurchradio.com, click on their banner, enter the promo code Jimmy, and you get $40 off and free shipping on the SD1. It's voice activated, comes with a USB antenna, cables, and a carry bag. Never listen to your phone, tablet, or laptop speakers ever again. It's the only way to listen to Fade to Black. That's jimmychurchradio.com, Studio Dome banner, promo code Jimmy. Go Beckley Teppy.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network and KGRA The Planet. I am your oh-so-humble host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, we have Corey Goode and David Wilcock with us. Yes, they are in the batter boxes, just waiting to come on. This is a night that everybody has requested for a long time. We have worked very hard to get this evening put together, and now we are here. Tomorrow night, Travis Walton and Jennifer Stein will be here. Wednesday night, Casper Parks, Dave Barra, and Mike Barra. Thursday night, open lines, and then on Saturday, I'll be over at Coast to Coast. With that, David Wilcock is a professional lecturer, filmmaker, and researcher of ancient civilizations, consciousness science, and new paradigms of matter and energy. Identified as an intuitive empath with precog abilities, Corey Goode was recruited through one of the MyLab programs at the young age of 6. Goode trained and served in the MyLab program from 1976 to 1986-87 for 20 years. Toward the end of this time at MyLab, he was assigned to an IE support role for rotating Earth delegate seats shared by secret Earth government groups in the human-type ET Super Federation Council. Goode is now in direct physical contact with the Blue AVIANS of the Sphere Being Alliance, who have chosen him as a delegate to interface with multiple ET federations and councils on their behalf, liaison with the SSP Alliance Council, and to deliver important messages to humanity. Tonight is a very special evening. I want everybody to be comfortable, share the knowledge. Go and learn and question everything after tonight's show. I would like to welcome to the program Mr. David Wilcock and Corey Goode. How are you tonight, gentlemen?
Very good.
Doing well. Thank you.
Okay. Let's see. David, for everybody, it sounds like David's going to be a little in the background sounding, and Corey's going to be the forceful guy in front. Are you guys ready?
Sounds good to me.
That'll be the reverse.
Yeah. Well, check this out, guys. We anticipated this being a big program, and tonight, right before the show, we literally blew up our servers, which are cleared for 100,000 hits at any one time. And our servers are back up and running. Everything is good. We have other networks that are picking up the feed. But our main server, you guys blew it up tonight. Congratulations. There's a first time for everything. You got to love it, right?
We get hero points for that, I guess.
Yeah, well, you guys do, and thank you. Now, I did announce before the show, and I want everybody to understand a couple of things. We have been working on getting this show done for months, and it has been the number one requested show. We have gotten so much email. Part of that being the stuff that you guys have done over at Gaiam, in the presentations on your websites. And the anticipation of this is, you can feel it. It's palpable. So, but I want the audience to know we have worked on this really hard. We haven't ignored anybody. David hasn't. Corey hasn't. Tonight is the first opportunity that we've had to be able to get the stars and the moon to align. And thank you guys both for making tonight happen.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm happy to be here. This is only the second time we've done a joint radio show. The first one was on Open Your Mind Ireland. And so I feel like we can accomplish a lot here if we focus and don't get too distracted by all the side tangents that can be caused in discussing this stuff. But
absolutely. And, okay, I'm going to start this evening off with a couple of disclaimers, and we'll get all of this out of the way so we can just have a wide open evening. First off, Corey, this is your first time on the show. So every time I have a first-time guest, I say the following words. It's just you, David, and I sitting on my couch in my living room having a conversation. We're going to start as friends. It's going to go where it goes, and we're going to end as friends. Are you ready?
How many cigarette butts are in the couch exactly?
Yeah, exactly. So that's the first disclaimer. And the second, I want to get a couple of things out of the way. One, we had a long conversation earlier today, and there is so much to discuss. There are so many questions out there from everybody. You guys have done your best to present all of this information as well as you can. Tonight, I'm going to do my best to inform all of our listeners and have them, sitting like they're sitting with us and participating in the conversation. And that's where we're going to go. I want to start here. I have two questions that are both very important. The first one is, how did you two meet? That's the first question. And the second question, I want to dovetail into this, is, Corey, you were gone for 20 years. And being gone for 20 years, looking back, this is the internet age. Anybody can check out anybody's background. Where does the internet or your history say that you have been for the last 20 years? So let's start there. How did you guys meet?
As far as I can remember, and what I've documented in my show Wisdom Teachings on Gaiam TV, is that Corey first emailed me in November 2009. I took photographs of the emails, blocking out certain personal details, including the addresses, but I did put that in the show. As far as I know, I was the first public figure that Corey contacted, and he did share with me an interesting bit of insider information all the way back then, which we've been asked to withhold for certain reasons of confidentiality.
Sure.
It wasn't anywhere near as big as the stuff that he's saying now, but it was significant.
Was it enough for you, David, to go, holy crap?
It validated several things that I'd heard from others, and it was pretty shocking. And I believed that he was telling me the truth because he knew too many things that people shouldn't know unless he saw what he claimed to have seen. Is it something that you can reveal now? I just said that I cannot.
Okay. Well, yeah, but I'm gonna be me, David. Gonna be me. I'm gonna ask one more time before the show's out. I promise. Okay.
But again, it's something you could find on the internet. Lots of people have written about this particular issue. He just happened to have very precise specifics about it that were not online.
Right.
And I'm like saying, how does this guy know this stuff? So we continued to exchange email from there on. And, sometimes he was writing me and I didn't respond because I've been really, really busy for many years. He then started to do forum work and then eventually circled back around and wrote me a very shocking email in October of this past year, 2014, and said that he had been working in the secret space program. And the first email was pretty cryptic, but I realized that he was probably onto something. So when we began talking, it turned into Skype calls pretty quickly, and I realized that this guy knows hundreds of things that, as far as I know, no other UFO figure on Earth has heard this from insiders, because I have insiders that nobody else has spoken to. And some of the insiders that have spoken to others have told me a whole lot of things that they did not share with anybody else. So we're starting to deal with a very, very huge story that up until Corey came forward, no one had ever put online, no one had access to. I was quietly keeping it to myself, and I'd never expected any of this stuff was going to make it online.
Corey, with those 20 years that you know, from 1976 to 1986, 87, what does public access information say about that time period, about yourself personally?
That actually will, the 20 and back program is what we're referring to. And people that are familiar with some other people that have come forward know, I guess, of others that have talked about the programs to where people sign up for or are drafted into programs to where they serve for 20 years, and at the end of that 20 years, they are, I guess, on this program, this is not going to sound extremely wild, but they are age regressed and time regressed and brought back to the time that they began the service. So that's from the time I left to the time I served, and then the time I served the 20 years and then came back, only maybe 6 to 8 minutes had passed in the real time timeline that we would see.
And is your own mind, Corey, and help me out on this if I don't ask the question the right way. Your own mind is still linear. In other words, the 20 years is still there, right? Yeah, and you remember all of it, but they make you a whole lot of promises that they don't intend to keep. They promise you will never have to pay for college. You'll have a very comfortable life when you come back and you go into a mainstream life. And they never intend on keeping the promises they make to you, because at the end of the 20 years of service, when they bring you back to the Lunar Operation Command facility and take you to the area to where they age regress you, which is a long process. They have to keep you totally immobile and almost in a comatose state for, I'm told, approximately 2 weeks for them for the process of regressing you back to your to the age you were when you started off. They also do what they call blank slating, which is they mind wipe you. And this is it's fairly effective in most cases, but 3 to 5% of people, the blank slating, especially the blank slating techniques they were using in the 70s and 80s, 3 to 5% of the people, it didn't work properly. And often they were intuitive empaths. And okay,
I've discussed. Go ahead.
Corey,
Go ahead.
yeah. Let me stop you there because we're going to start to get ahead of ourselves. So, but what I wanted to do was set the stage for this is for a lot of people that have never heard your story, is going to be a lot for them to absorb. So, in some instances, we need to try to break this down and
sure.
And so let's back up. Okay, so 20 years, 1976, 1986, 87, you were in the MyLab program. and you were regressed and brought back. Okay, so now we understand how that happened. Now let's go ahead. What is the MyLab program?
Well, I've learned that a lot of people have a lot of preconceived ideas that MyLab equals super soldier program, which is one of the programs that falls under the MyLab umbrella in the programs. There are hundreds of different programs. MyLab is a term that was coined, I believe, back in the 90s, and it's just short for military abduction. And the military abductions can be for any number of things. People that have been abducted by extraterrestrials, they can be what they call MyLabbed. The military abducts them to find out why ETs were interested in them. People can be MyLabbed or abducted on a short-term basis, a one-time basis, or a long-term basis if they are brought into some of these programs that they use to train people from a very young age for what they're going. They'll identify people at a very young age that have what they call gifts or what they consider special, and they want to get them at a young age before the real world comes in and tells them certain things are not possible. And
I see. So MyLab, which it should be MIL-AB, right? Military abduction, as opposed to like military laboratory. So MyLab is military abduction.
MILAB is how you'll see it spelled on the internet, all caps.
And what made you so special? Did they tell you, or did you know in advance?
Well, that's a buzzword, the special word.
Sure it is.
They use that word to try to pump up your ego, even at a very young age, to tell you're special. You have a preordained mission in this life, and we're helping you to make the best of that. And there's a whole lot of propaganda that they use to try to get you to usually do their bidding, but I was having weird experiences early on, but at the age of 6, I had been identified through testing in public schools, through some standardized testing, even way back then, and I had been identified as an intuitive empath. And
what is an intuitive empath?
Well, if you're empathic, you feel other people's emotions. You have a very strong connection to other people emotionally. You will know what another person is feeling, and you can have a connection with them. And then once you learn how to use that, you can then begin to understand what they are thinking, why they may be feeling that way. Intuitive is self-explanatory. You have a very strong intuition.
Did you know that you had these abilities at the age of 6?
You really don't understand that kind of thing when you're at that age. That's at the age to where you take that kind of thing for granted. That's before your parents beat that kind of thing out of you. That's not possible. That's not scientific. that's before the world gets a hold of you and takes all of your faith and the magical things in life away.
And David, you can jump in here because I actually want your insight on this. But you made a couple of statements, Corey, about the amount of people that were on the Manta Ray, the Stingray ship. It held, I think the number was like 600. That's an extraordinary, it seems to me, a large amount, not only to be on a ship, but just in general in the program. Was everybody on that ship 6 years old?
No, and that was the capacity of the ship, and it also that it could hold up to 600 people, and it also could be, I guess, it's kind of modular in a way to where it could be configured to transport cargo also.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just trying to get a grasp of the amount of other people in the program. If there were 600 on the ship, there's no telling how many are going to be there when you arrived or how many have been recruited before you got there. It seems like an extraordinarily large number. Do either of you have an idea of what that number is?
Well, this program was already quite large. There were already, many hundreds of thousands of people that were in these programs. If you remember, David, help me. When did the brain drain begin? Was it in the 50s?
It started in the 1950s, and according to my insider, Pete Peterson, who is willing to go forward with this publicly, it was actually 60 million people. And what they did is they pulled the best and brightest scientific minds and their families from countries all over the world. These people told whoever their friends were that they were going to work overseas in a foreign assignment. They would write a series of postcards before they left, and then those postcards would be mailed over the course of about 5 years, after which time it would just dry out, and then their friends would never hear from them again. And in this way, they were able to populate this space program with a very large number of people who are all now mandated to have kids as soon as they get to be old enough.
Now, to somebody that's listening to this for the first time, I'm going to ask both of you the same question. What kind of evidence would you guys put forward to support this? We're speaking to an audience, two different people listening, one that are familiar with everything that we're talking about right now, and then there's the other that are hearing this for the first time, and they are saying really loud right now, okay, but where's the evidence? So how do you respond to that?
I would start with asking them questions, okay? Roswell happened 70 years ago. Would you be listening to the show if you didn't believe that the United States government, at the very least, got access to extraterrestrial discs that they could fly? If they can fly them, why wouldn't they go into space? If they can go into space, why wouldn't they build something? If they can build something, why wouldn't they send people there? If they can send people there, why wouldn't eventually one of them come forward? That's what's happened.
And Corey? Same question.
Well, as far as the brain drain goes, I think there's been quite a lot of evidence put forth that many people of scientific and engineering backgrounds disappeared basically off the face of the earth back in the 50s, and again, it happened in waves going even up into the 80s. So I don't think really that's really up for debate. I mean, David, do you have hasn't that pretty much been established?
Well, yeah, and I'll also point out that if you have a Netflix account, you can go on there and watch a television show called Ascension, which absolutely blew my mind. I have documented records of Pete Peterson telling me about 2 space probes that were sent out, and that the name of the scientist that developed these probes was Ensman. And I won't say his first name because it's different than the one they used in the show, but the last name was the same. And in the show Ascension, they talk about the brain drain, and they talk about the idea also that certain people are put out as plants online so that if you start to find out the truth, you will be steered towards certain websites, and those sites are actually controlled by people who are deliberately finding out who knows the truth and shutting them down, sometimes lethally. So the television show Ascension is a story about the secret space program, a group of people who think they're in space, and nothing has changed since the 1960s for them. There is a preponderance of evidence that has been collected about the brain drain. A lot of that work was done many years ago, so it's pre-internet era, but you can still, if you're a diligent researcher, find lots and lots of data about that. As far as the broad stroke portrait of the secret space program itself, these people have done an incredibly good job of keeping it secret. And one of the things that I like to say is the Manhattan Project was what developed the atomic bomb. It employed 140,000 people, and it went on for 6 years. And until the bomb actually went off, no one squealed, no one leaked it, none of those people came forward, the public didn't know anything about it, and it was a vast operation. So
yeah,
it is...
There's so many examples of that, David. You're absolutely right. The SR-71, the F-117, all of those areas, we didn't know about it until they wanted us to know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's no question about that.
So anybody who says, well, I'm a skeptic and the government can't even hide a file in a file cabinet. No. You got to understand here. This is not a file in a file cabinet. We're talking about a very, very vast program where they wanted to make absolutely sure that the public would never find out about this. So once you get brought into space, and this is a key thing I hope we'll get Corey to talk about, you are a slave. You are not coming back. You're done.
Understood. Hey guys, we're up against one break. Let's take this, and then we'll do the next hour commercial free. But when we come back, Corey, whistleblowers are supposed to be faceless and nameless, and certainly that has ended with you. So when we come back after the break, I want to ask Corey what it's like to be a whistleblower with a face and a name. That can't be the easiest life to deal with. And we'll do all of that when we come back. Tonight, David Wilcock and Corey Goode are with us. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. This is Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network and KGRA, The Planet. Stay right there.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRAradio.com. Hey everybody, what's up? Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and check this out. The 2015 MUFON Symposium will be held this September 24th through the 27th in beautiful downtown Irvine, California. Expanding ufology, opening new doors in academia, industry, and media. Former Defense Minister of Canada Paul Hellyer will be there in person. Former CNN news anchor Cheryl Jones, TV news journalist Jaime Maussan, and MUFON's chief photo analyst Mark D'Antonio. They're just a few of the growing list of names for the 2015 event. It's September 24th through the 27th at the beautiful Hotel Irvine. Get your tickets today at MUFONSymposium.com. That's MUFONSymposium.com. Go Beckley Tepe.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Did you ever turn to your radio for your favorite talk show to find that it's been preempted for this?
In the air, to deep right center. Back goes Lewis to the wall, and it's all here!
Or this?
And I'm ashamed of you, Hillary, for voting for it.
Do you have a favorite talk radio program that's not available in your city? Just go to TalkStreamLive.com for links to the best streaming talk radio shows. At TalkStream Live, you will find live talk shows 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. All your favorites are here with such a large selection.